Yeah.
Yay! Great thing.
The last two folks I have is Jerry Ward and State Representative Katie Iyer.
I'm Jerry Ward, longtime member of South Waterfront URAC, representing Southport Neighborhood Association. Early on, transportation, a major task of Trimet, was identified as a major concern deficiency of South Waterfront, especially vehicle connections to the rest of the region. City PDC Trimet promised, and is required by state and city regs, to provide adequate all forms of transportation before development of urban renewal, like South Waterfront, can proceed. I want to point out how Trimet's policies budget is not meeting the city's and Trimet's requirements by using South Waterfront as an example. Over 32 street projects were identified by PDC PDOT for South Waterfront to meet the transportation obligations. Only one has been accomplished. Southwest Moody has been rebuilt, modified 3 times since 1999. The north portal into South Waterfront isn't even off the drawing boards. The central portal and the I-5 freeway exits were canceled. Nothing has been done for street accessibility, and the future of any of these projects is bleak. South Waterfront is broke. A few years back, Sam took $10 million of South Waterfront tip dollars for Milwaukee Light Rail. Then took another $10 million from South Waterfront of SDC charges for Milwaukee Light Rail. Then several months ago, the PDC financial experts confirmed that South Waterfront tip property tax dollars are less than the debt service of the urban renewal area, approaching $290 million of tip. The income coming in, projected, is in the range of $9 million, while the debt payments are $14 million. South Waterfront is broke. Then, at our last URAC meeting, PDC Director Patrick Quinton reaffirmed the broke fact. Patrick stated, PDC is running out of money. These are direct quotes. Quote, "Era of TIP is over. Political climate of the urban renewal is challenging. All of Portland's urban renewal areas will expire in 11 years. These are the quotes. Trimet's board and management and planners need to recognize this reality, and this latest proposed board bond issuance doesn't. Now, I want to dissect this really down to the average citizen and what Trimet policies and direct actions mean just in South Waterfront and how it affects the whole Southwest and the rest of the region. Look at the headline in the Southwest Portland Post in just this recent issue in June. It states, light rail may mean bus cuts for Southwest Portland neighborhoods. It states Northwest College of Naturopathic Medicine is, quote, is seeking to encourage as many students as business trips to use means other than cars. However, they may be thwarted by Trimet's plans. And MCNM's Keith North said, Trimet officials have said that Westside service on 8 of the 9 bus lines to the area will be eliminated once the bridge, Trimet's new bike bridge, opens, with the aim of utilizing light rail exclusively. Just this one example shows how Trimet isn't serving its citizens. Trimet needs to recognize it's broke, recognize its main local seed money is broke, urban renewal is broke, and become fiscal prudent. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Representative Dee Ayer. I represent Oregon House District 29, Western Washington County area. And I just, first off, want to couch this in terms of thanking you for your service. I understand that you are often required to have Solomon's wisdom while trying to figure out how to match the core mission of this organization for which you represent, and how to do it in light of an eroding balance sheet, a quickly declining fiscal balance sheet. I'm a CPA, and so my testimony will be centered around the financial situation and how this $111 million offsets it. So my concern is approving this new $111 million of additional debt secured by future payroll taxes on the heads of employees, those fortunate enough to have a job, and also by self-employed folks who are fortunate enough to actually have some kind of profitable business. But it isn't just that. If we could afford that debt and the debt was reasonable and for a good purpose, I'm concerned because you also do not have, as far as I can see, and if you have it, I hope to actually read it and I pray that you do have it, some kind of significant financial plan to unbury yourself, long-term financial plan, concrete, a business plan, like any other organization would be required to have. You have heard loud and clear, and you're already aware of the $1.2 billion of debt, unfunded, both on balance sheet and off balance sheet. How does an organization with approximately $500 million of current operating revenues and over $1 billion of total revenue resources dig out of an off-balance sheet liability unfunded of this amount, this $1.2 billion, with no plan to fund its existing commitments? While yet you argue, the organization argues, that $111 million to fund deferred maintenance and to heavily invest in light rail is actually best practices for a transit agency. How is this the best that we can give to taxpayers, to citizens, and to riders? As a state representative, I'm keenly aware of who I answer to, and that is only to the citizens, both in my district and the state of Oregon. You as board members of Trimet, you are beholden to the citizens, the riders, and the taxpayers, and absolutely to no one else. And I want to encourage you when you make this decision to be mindful of who you are answerable to and who you owe a fiduciary duty to.
Good.
I understand that these payroll tax, the payroll tax revenue bonding fits within the board-approved debt policy, but I want to encourage you to look back when that policy was approved. Did it include fully the unfunded liabilities, the off-balance sheet liabilities? And I also remind you that the off-balance sheet transactions are what brought down such large organizations such as Enron. A debt is a debt, whether it is for retirement or whether it's to Wall Street, whether it's for post-employment benefits. A debt is a debt. And retirement commitments can't be deferred in perpetuity. Eventually, they will come due. And that due date is moving closer and closer to us as we move forward in time. In balancing the 2013 budget, Trimet's proposed raising certain fares, and through your own analysis, it's directly resulting in decreased ridership. And I don't understand how this short-term financial plan to fill a budget gap is actually continuing the core mission of moving people around our area. Is this the birth pain of financial implosion? If this action is necessary for managing one budget, just one single budget, will this be the financial fix for longer-term planning? And with the significant off-balance sheet debt, will this financial maneuver experience exponential rate increases to riders when employed in future years for expanding debt? This is what I'm asking the Trimet to do, is to establish a full financial long-term plan, a business plan with serious analysis on how to pay off, even through annual payments, how to pay off this significant existing debt, the unfunded liabilities. How are you going to do that? And you can't simply look at the same financial tools, the same band-aids of federal dollars on increased services, on coming to the legislature for more payroll tax increases or extensions of payroll tax, or increasing rider fares substantially while diminishing services. Your hole, your financial hole, is too deep to rely on a normal bag of tricks. You must dig yourself out. You need a plan before any tax increase or extension is approved by the legislature, and I hope that Trimet will be able to report to the legislature and demonstrate that they have exercised fiscal prudence and good stewardship over the taxpayers' money. Approving $111 million in new debt without a plan, without a roadmap of how to bury yourself, or even a hint of fiscal restraint with capital-intensive projects, is, in my opinion, not exercising fiscal prudence or good stewardship over taxpayer funds. I've served on boards, I served in the legislature, I know how this works, and in all likelihood, either today or in a near future meeting, up to $111 million of this bond will likely be approved. I get that. But I encourage you to push back with it and to no longer follow this organization into an ever-deepening hole of financial insolvency. I encourage each one of you to lead this organization out and into financial stability, fiscal sustainability. I urge you to do that. Your choice, follow or lead. And my request is that you will sit back and direct the staff to develop your fiscal roadmap. Long-term, admittedly, I get that. The hole is very deep. And that would be leadership. Encourage that before voting on that. Take that financial leadership step. Be beholden to the citizens, the riders, and the taxpayers, and earn and maintain the greater trust of the community. Thank you.